Alvarado's here. Oh, okay, Ms. Alvarado's here. Bartel present. Okay. Bisbee. Okay, and then Mr. Zane, you're here with for arraignment on Carberry. On the record in the matter, the people of the state of Michigan versus Marissa Carberry. This is file number 20-01754. Counsel, I'll take your appearance.
Good afternoon, Edward Zane, on behalf of Ms. Carberry, appearing via Zoom with consent.
I don't think you need to. Okay, Ms. Carberry, today's the date that was set for arraignment on a probation violation. I do have a request in summons for probation violation here. It alleges that you tested positive at EverHealth on February 20th, 2024 for opiates with a result of 569 nanograms and codeine with a result of 84.43 nanograms. And so you have the right to have a contested hearing. You have the right to be represented by an attorney at that hearing. And you have the right to have the prosecutor and the probation department put forth evidence to establish the allegation that you have violated the terms of your probation. Understanding that if you are found guilty or determined to be in violation of your probation can be extended, it can be revoked, and you can be sentenced to jail time, or I could impose additional oversight or treatment as a part of your sentence if found in violation of your probation status. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay. Mr. Zaney, did you want to proceed to a hearing on this?
Yes, Your Honor, we do want to proceed to a hearing on this matter.
Okay, the court will enter a plea of not guilty. We'll set this matter for hearing on the probation violation. April 2nd. April 2nd at 1:30 work for you?
Your Honor, I'm out of town at that point. Can we do it for the following week?
Yeah, April 9th. April 9th at 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I have one request of the court when the court so allow.
On this file?
On this file, yes, Your Honor. It's just as a matter of April. I know the court does the probation violation hearings in person. I may have an expert witness that we want to present to the court at the hearing. I'd ask for permission for that witness to appear via Zoom.
Your witness can appear via Zoom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, any additional matters on this file?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you at the time of your hearing, Ms. Carberry.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Your Honor. Have a wonderful week.
Same to you.
Bye.
Are we having a hearing? Is that what you're
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. Let's see. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kelsey Alvarado. File number 19-04939 SD.
Assistant Prosecutor Paige Petrosky on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Kelsey Alvarado.
Okay, Ms. Alvarado, today was the date that was set for a hearing on probation violation. I do have a new one here. Looks like it's a no-show for a scheduled date of testing for the 26th of February.
Your Honor, that's an additional one to the ones that were in the actual violation.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is a new one. She's already been arraigned on the other ones. This one, she's not been arraigned on, so I'm just reading the note. It alleges you failed to appear for your testing. You were no show at EverHealth on the 26th. You've already been advised of your right to have a contested hearing on these matters, and I've arraigned you on a number of alleged violations that was scheduled to have a hearing on today. You want to have a hearing?
No, I don't think we'll need that.
Okay, she wanted to plead to the violations here.
Yes, although, Your Honor, I am somewhat confused. We had a hearing on the 20th where she agreed to wear a scram tether. I thought that that was in lieu of the testing. Was I just misunderstanding?
In lieu of what testing? I never removed her testing order.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was scram tether or testing. I didn't know.
I'm sorry? Correct.
That was my mistake.
Okay. Okay, I do see that there was, she pled guilty on the 19th, and I was placed her on scram tether soberly. And then she had additional violations, I believe, and that's why I set their hearing for today. But it looks like this one that just came in since that day, because I didn't see her since the 19th. So how does she want to proceed on this one? That would also include, obviously, the January 25th, February 11th, and February 18th that she was arraigned on.
We already did. Was that the one we already said?
She
guilty
pled
to
guilty.
last time?
She pled guilty to violations from January 16, 2024, that she failed to appear for testing on December 24th. She submitted late tests on December 25th, December 30th, January 1st, January 5th, January 8th, January 11th, January 13th, January 14th.
Yes. Okay.
And this, I arraigned her on the date of that hearing, which is the 19th.
Gotcha.
It looks like on this
So
one.
she's got additional ones on the 25th and 26th of February and
The January 25th, February 11th, February 18th, and then now one from February 26th. Speak with her privately.
I think that would be wise. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. On the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sabrina Bartel, file number 22-03153. Okay, Ms. Bartel, I do have requesting summons for probation violation that I'm going to arraign you on. It alleges that you committed the following technical probation violations: that you failed to refrain from controlled substances per EverHealth, that on January 30th, 2024, you tested positive with a result of 905 nanogram per milliliter of cocaine. It says 300 and a greater than 10,000 nanogram per milliliter of benzos. On February 9th, 2024, you tested positive for 827 nanogram per milliliter of cocaine, and then 310,000 nanograms per milliliter of benzo. So you have the right to have a contested hearing. You have the right to be represented by an attorney at that hearing. If you're found to be in violation of your probation status, your probation can be revoked. You can be sentenced to a term of jail time. Do you understand that? It also can be extended, or I can impose additional oversight or treatment and other sanctions that the court deems appropriate at the time of your sentencing if you're found to be in violation. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, may I say something?
Not at this time. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. Did you want to be represented by an attorney on this? Okay. I'll note that you are requesting court-appointed counsel. I'll enter a plea of not guilty at this time. Now, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yes, yesterday, I go to MLRS and you submitted my application to the website. Is that the right after the residential treatment? Because I'm struggling so hard. Environment that I'm so I'm trying to. They have that open.
Okay, when you leave here, you're gonna go meet with the public defender, then I want you to go down one floor, check in with your probation officer, provide them verification of what you're telling me here,
Okay.
okay?
Ma'am.
Get you notice of hearing for your probation violations, and then, let's see, did I miss one? Okay, yep, there's another violation. There's another two in here. I just started them all on the same date, it looks like. I have another violation request. It states that on February 16th, 2024, you tested positive with a result of 1,562 nanogram per milliliter of cocaine, 310,000 nanogram per milliliter of benzo. And then another violation alleging that on February 20th, 2024, you tested positive 187.362 nanogram per milliliter of amphetamine and 631.385 nanogram per milliliter of methamphetamine and 1,121 nanogram per milliliter of cocaine, 310,000 nanogram per milliliter of benzo. So again, I'll note here that you are pleading not guilty to these violations and that these will proceed to a hearing at this time. April 2nd at 1:30. April 2nd at 1:30 in person. Do you have any questions at this time?
No.
Okay, let me see. Once we get a public defender, we'll get you to meet with them so they can get any information that they need, and then we'll get you down to probation, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Demond Bisbee, file number is 23-00863. Mr. Bisbee, how are you? I'm well, thank you. Let's see. Okay, I have two violations here. There's a request and summons for probation violation alleging that you tested positive for alcohol at JSG on February 10th, 2024. With the result of both ETG and ETS greater than 10,000 nanogram, and on February 14th, 2024, with a result of ETG greater than 10,000 nanogram and an ETS of 4,370 nanogram. Additional violation alleges that you tested positive at JSG on February 22nd, 2024 for alcohol with the result of ETG 1,860 nanogram, ETS 408 nanogram. And you have the right to a contested hearing. You can be represented by an attorney at that hearing, and you can require the prosecution and the probation department to put evidence forth to sustain these violations that are alleged. Do you understand that?
A little bit, no.
What questions do you have so far?
Um.
You have the right to have a hearing on the violations that I just read to you. You have the right to have an attorney represent you at that hearing. You have the right to have evidence brought forth that would support the violations that were alleged. So you can require the prosecution put evidence that would show that you actually tested positive as they alleged. Do you understand that? Okay. Did you want to request an attorney?
No,
Okay, you want to represent yourself?
I mean, I guess I get a 20.
We're just gonna enter a plea of not guilty at this time. If you're found in violation of your probation, you can be sentenced to jail time. Do you understand that? Or I can just increase your probation or your oversight, which could also include me putting you on like a scram tether or something that will test your alcohol more and maybe sentencing you to additional treatment if the court determines there's an issue that necessitates you needing treatment. Do you understand that? Okay. We're gonna set this for a hearing. April 2nd at 1:30. April 2nd at 1:30 in person at the court, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions at this time?
No, ma'am.
You can have a seat and I'll get you to meet with the public defender in a moment. Back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kelsey Alvarado. Okay. Mr. Lee, you spoke with her privately. How does she want to proceed?
Your Honor, my client will plead guilty to allegations.
Is that what you want to do, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Okay, Ms. Alvarado, I have, again, violations alleging that you failed to do random testing at EverHealth on January 25th, February 11th, and then February 18th, and that you were a no-show on February 26, 2024. As to those violations, you have the right to have a hearing today. You do have witnesses here ready to proceed. And you have the right to have evidence put forth on the record to establish your guilt as to those violations. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to give up your right to a hearing?
Oh, no.
You do not? You want the hearing? You want to hold a hearing right now?
I'm sorry.
I'm asking you, do you want to give up your hearing?
No,
So you want to have the hearing? Correct?
I'm sorry. I'm misunderstanding.
To have a hearing, Mr. witnesses on the stand, so.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Okay. Anybody threatening you to want you to not have a hearing today? Okay. As to those violations, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you're guilty of those violations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, factual basis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Alvarado, were you ordered to a term of probation in case number 19-04939?
Yes.
And as part of that probation, you were ordered to participate in random testing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so did you fail to test on the dates of January 25th, February 11th, February 18th, and February 26th of 20?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Any questions from the prosecution?
No, Your Honor.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis and I'll accept your plea if I be made to voluntarily and intelligently. Mr. Husky, you were here on that particular matter.
Yes, Your
Did
Honor.
you want to give a statement at all?
I do, Your Honor.
You can do so at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. So at this time, we've been here multiple times with this defendant and, it continues to be under this sort of same issues that are ongoing. Ms. Alvarado, unfortunately, you know, her tenaciousness will serve her well in certain circumstances, but not here at the court. She continues to try to do things under her own way and how she wants to do them. And it unfortunately doesn't then want to accept the consequences that come along with that. And in this particular instance, and I think this is important, I know she pled guilty, but on February 14th, a test, she said that she was at AverHealth for over 2 hours, which then presented her a reason to say that she was there for 2 hours on the February 18th missed test. She emailed me, left me voicemail saying that she was there for 2 hours. I did my due diligence to look into the problem if it was ongoing with AverHealth. Come to find out, per the cameras at AverHealth, she was there for 13 minutes. And it is a continuation of the misrepresentation of the truth that she continues to provide to me, and then say that I'm not willing to work with her. And unfortunately, you know, this is just one matter. It's ongoing in this probation case, unfortunately. And at this point, I do not see how probation is serving her well at all. We really are not getting a whole lot of progress out of this. And I feel like, you know, she's saying she's getting her kids back. She's overwhelmed. She's got so much going on. I guess this is just adding to it and is no longer a positive result for her. And I don't really see a whole lot of improvement. And her saying that I'm trying, unfortunately, you know, we've been here multiple times on violations. And at this point, I don't see a purpose that would serve her well to continue probation at this time, Your Honor. And I will leave any consequences to the court's discretion.
Thank you for taking the time to come and share that with the court. And I did have your notes that were addressed here, but you've placed those concerns on the record. Mr. Lee, you can make allocution for your client.
Thank you, Your Honor. I disagree with the characterization that Ms. Alvarado is not moving forward. She has not only been paying off her fines and fees, she has tested every week. It may be true that there are days where she hasn't tested on the day that it was requested for whatever reason. Money tends to be an issue as well at times, but she has tested every week and she's never had a positive test. So
She's never had a positive test since when?
November.
She's had 16 mixed tests
my understanding is that she has tested
Since-
every week.
since she's
even
been
though
on probation.
Right. So, you know, since November, she hasn't had any positive tests. She just got her kids back. She's got a leadership position at work. Unfortunately, her work is not always consistent and steady. 20 hours one week, 40 hours another. So it does make the money tough at times. But, you know, if you were looking at where she was a year ago, she's definitely in a much better place today. So I think that probation has been helping her to address her issues, but certainly there needs to be some understanding as to when she is supposed to show up, and she should show up when she's supposed to. She doesn't deny that. That's why she pleads guilty. But she does want to complete probation. She does want to continue to learn and grow and be there for her kids.
Does your client want to make a statement? Well, I can echo the frustrations that the probation department has had because the court has been more than lenient with Ms. Alvarado. I've been dealing with this case since 2019. So to categorize what we're here for today or to minimize it and say that she's been testing every week, I think is a gross misrepresentation of what she has done or failed to do, I should say, while on this term of probation or even under the oversight of this court. I here have a file where she, before we can even get a plea entered or a disposition, had missed court 5 times. Now, we have her on probation, and it's nonstop probation violations because Miss Alvarado thinks she should be able to do what she feels like it when she feels like it. She's not only violated by testing positive for alcohol while on probation, she is violated by not appearing for testing. She's violated by testing positive for other substances. She's violated by not completing programming the court has told her to do when she was supposed to do it. Now I have here a violation where she indicated to her probation officer that she left because she had been waiting for several hours. This is literally the same week she was here in the court and placed on a scram tether because she refused to go to testing. That was why I put her on the scram tether, because she refuses to follow the court order. I don't have to search anyone down to require them to take advantage of their privilege of being on probation. You were the one who signed a probation agreement and stated you were going to be compliant. You've been anything but compliant with probation. I can recognize that you may have many things going on in your life that may cause you some anxiety or some stress. I don't know a single person sitting in this courtroom that doesn't have many things going on that doesn't cause them anxiety or stress. Raise your hand if you do not have many things going on in your life right now that don't cause you anxiety and stress. I don't see a single hand raised. So if you think you're going to get sympathy from me for that reason, you will not, because you're an adult and you made the decisions that caused you to be here. And you made decisions that not only affected you, but they affected the lives of other people, and could have potentially caused other people a grave serious injury, including yourself. When you get behind the wheel of a vehicle while you're under the influence, you are putting yourself and you're putting other innocent people at risk. And for you to be placed on probation for an alcohol-related substance and then refuse to test for alcohol every time we send you to test is completely disregarding the court's order. You don't care anything about what the court wants you to do. You're going to do what Kelsey wants to do. I'm going to revoke your probation. You will serve 93 days in Ingham County Jail with no credit for time served. Do you understand that? Remanded in the custody, there will not be no earned early release. Okay. She can be excused. We're off the record on that matter. Does she have her balance on her? I think they do.
I don't know what it is.
I think that's the wrong public files. That's a mistake.